Sometimes the leaders in our society do not want to teach us what it's like to be leader, because when you become leader, you render them irrelevant. There are whole races of people who have been done wrong in the past, and their leaders keep reminding them of the issue, reminding them of the pain, reminding them of how bad it was, and never ever giving them the tools to leave it behind. Because when these formerly oppressed people should learn that there is power to leave the dirt and the stench behind, they don't need those leaders anymore. So to validate and legitimize their own existence, they keep people wanting the bread and the fish every day. And I'm here to tell you, you have the power yourself to be leader, and thereby empower your own children and your own circle of people around you to be strong. You have an organization that's following you. You're a leader. So if you look behind you, you better have some folks. Because if you think you're leading, and you look behind and no one's following, you're just taking a stroll. Will you give them the power to be leaders themselves? Will you step aside and let them grow? They will never do it as well as you when they start. Will you tolerate a few mistakes? They won't set up the gathering. They won't set up the meeting quite as well as you. Will you step aside and let them try? Because if you don't, you're going to die because you can't do it all. If you're a leader, in this great company, and you are indispensable, you do not a very good leader make. Because one of the greatest marks of leadership is duplication. Hello? And the power to reach people means that you give them the ability to circumnavigate the mountain, to go over the mountain, to go through the mountain. Even when they're in the darkest moments, you believe in them to the point where they have to start believing as well, because you tell them that you know they were born to fly. But let's talk about you. So now you're in the middle of this mountain. You can't see the light behind. You can't see the light before. And the thing that keeps you pressing forward, ma'am, and moving ahead is that you have this little thing in your head that says, the weeping is going to last all night, but joy is going to come in the morning. And you keep going, girl, and you keep going, and you keep going until one day you break free on the other side of this place. And people look at you and go, you're so lucky, everything that you do turns to gold. How can you be given so much blessing? And they don't know what you've had to go through, ma'am. Because if you quit in the middle of the mountain, you would die in the middle of the mountain. I don't understand why life works that way. But you have to know that there's celebration after the fight. Oh, you want to be great in this company? You are, you know. The question is, do you know it? Because if you know it, you'll just do it. If you want it, you have to be it. Oh, the German philosopher Goethe. Goethe said, if a man will have a thing, he must first be a thing. That which you want, you must become. And then nothing can deny you it. Because you are it. Oh my gosh, I've had to move some mountains in my life. I've got some right now that my wife Grace and I are moving as we speak. Now here's the interesting part. Here's the really interesting part. You have moved the mountain, right? Because when you appear on the other side, the mountain is now where? Behind you, right? But who moved? Did you move or did the mountain move? You. Well, let me make sure I ask this question and get a good response. In terms of absolute position on the earth, who moved? Did you move or did the mountain move? You moved. You understand, ma'am, that the pressures that life gives you are designed to get you to move, to shake, to do something different about your life and take a different course sometimes? There are people in this world who specialize in moving mountains, and so what they do is they go to the explosive store and they buy dynamite and they want to blow it to smithereens. Oh, you spend the rest of your life trying to blow mountains to smithereens. If you want to, oh, here is the abiding secret that should be no secret at all. If you want to fix that situation, if you want to overcome that emotional burden, if you want to blast through that mental place or that financial place that has held you bound, you have to move. It does no good to stay at your desk and type it in on a computer. You got to get up and shake and do and take action. Oh, you come to this weekend and it's going to be fabulous. I can see it already. And you'll feel good. And you'll go home the way that people go home after having gone to a nice movie. The popcorn is still left a little thing in my teeth. I know the soda pop is junk, but it was a great, gratifying experience and the plot was wonderful. But ma'am, if you were in school studying to be a director of movies, and your career is going to be directing movies, you will never watch that movie the way the crowd does. You're looking at the plot. You're looking at the scene with the photography. You're looking at the character development. You're wondering how they're going to put this together. You're seeing things that cause them to get Oscars in this movie if it's worthwhile. And you are looking at this movie in a very, very different way. True? Will you be the director in your life? Or do you want a leader to tell you what to do like he does or she does? Leadership is good, but why not be the leader? Why not be the leader? Because it is the leaders, you see. When you look at the mountain, the ones who get to the mountain, the top, they don't have much space up there. Am I telling the truth? You go to the peak of a mountain, and if you move too far, you're not at the peak anymore. And the reason is, nature designed the mountain that way because very few people get there. It doesn't need that much space. But the valley is extensive because most people stay there. And my challenge to you is, so you want good in your life, so you want to be spectacular and leave a heritage behind, are you prepared to go to the place that members of your family have not yet gone? Are you prepared to do something that makes people think you're crazy?